So, who is the lady in this picture?
My ex-girlfriend.
Name?
Nina Kalenkov. What do you want to know? What is this all about, anyway?
Now, who is asking the questions here? Well, it would appear that your ex-girlfriend has a certain problem, just like you. She fails to understand who makes the rules in this game. We would like to know where she is at the moment and what she is planning to do next.
Nina? How should I know?
You still don't get it, do you? All right. One more time. Either you tell us what we want to know, or else...
Or else what?
Or else we will have to proceed without your help. But that would be painful, both for you and for your ex-girlfriend. So, you see, the choice is yours. I have a few important things to take care of that cannot possibly wait, but I will be back soon, and it would really be too bad if you still haven't made up your mind to cooperate by then. Too bad for you and for Ms. Kalenkov.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Paris, that's the view from...
This is supposed to be the incredibly secret archive of Cardinal Coubertin that we've been looking for.
We must be on the right track. We're going to find this archive. We simply must not fail.
Hello? Are you listening to me?
Yes, of course.
Well, we're not going to find much here, are we?
I am sure this is the right spot. It has got to be.
You can see that there's nothing left here but a couple of foundation walls, right?
Yes, but this place corresponds to the description. Therefore, it must.
So what do we do now?
If I only knew. Maybe we can find some old blueprints or historical documents which might give us a clue.
Old blueprints? For ancient ruins?
Have you got a better idea?
No, I guess not.
At least we must try it. There's no alternative, is there? Are you coming?
Thanks, but I'd rather stay here and take another look around. I don't know what I'm looking for, but it's better than helplessly staring over your shoulder while you study Latin texts.
Yes, you're probably right. I don't see for the life of me what we could possibly have overlooked here. But better be on the safe side.
Shall we meet here, then?
All right. Wish me luck. We need it more than ever.
I do. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thanks. And the same to you. Maybe you'll actually find something. Who knows? See you later.
All right. I will have a closer look at these ruins, then.
Okay, so basically he just dumped her off and left. This, been staring at this.
There's a light blue stone stuck in the wall. How odd. It appears to be different from all the others.
Take it.
This stone is loose. Just a little yank.
Yeah, of course. You know, ancient ruins, hundreds of years old. And then you fall through a hole. It's a rather coincidence.
My mother always used to say, "Don't go playing in ramshackle buildings, dear." Oh, she was so right. Just what is this place? It says Institio Finis Viae est. If I remember my school Latin right, it probably means something like standing still is the end of the path. Ah, some of the letters can be turned.
I knew it.
There's a cold draft coming from that crack. I wonder what's behind it. I can't even get my fingers in there. And I can't really imagine being able to open a massive stone door with my hands. This probably used to be the entrance. Crashing through the ceiling wasn't necessary back then. By the time I free up that passage, I will be old and gray. This is the way back up to the ruins. So how will I get out of here? Wait a moment. I have a plan. A plan that has proven its worth
Scream
for
your head
thousands of
off.
years. It's sophisticated and elaborate, the perfect rescue scheme. Let's see whether it works here.
Help! Help! Get me out of here! Help!
Obvious.
Anybody there? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
I'm here! Down here! Help me!
How on earth did you get down there?
It's a hole.
Floor just gave way beneath me. If you don't mind, I'd really like to continue this conversation above ground. Do you think you could get me out of here somehow?
Wait, I've got an idea.
Thank you so much. You probably saved my life.
It was my pleasure. Anytime.
I'm interested in this old chapel. I wanted to take a closer look, but obviously there isn't much left of it.
No, it was largely destroyed during an air raid in World War II. But maybe I can help you?
You?
Yes, me. With nothing to do all day, you have to keep yourself occupied somehow. And I occupy myself with history.
Excellent. Then maybe you can tell me something about Cardinal Coubertin. He had this chapel built, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But there isn't a whole lot we know about him. All the records kept while he was in office are stored in his archives.
And where are they?
Who knows? They searched high and low after his death, but they haven't been found to this day. Nobody even remembers where he was buried. All I know is that he had a curator who took care of his legacy following his death in 1663. The curator died 10 years later. They found his body in his squalid basement dwelling after he had been dead for a week. He should be buried in this cemetery as well, but I have no idea as to where exactly. I don't even really know his name. I think it was Michel or something like that.
Well, at least it's a start. Not much to go on, but better than nothing. Are there no further clues?
Not really. He was barely known around here. Cardinal Coubertin brought him back from one of his journeys. He wasn't a local man. Also, he hardly ever went out, and when he did, he was heavily covered up, which soon led to wild speculation amongst the locals. He served the cardinal for almost 40 years.
Okay. I'll take another look around here. Thanks again for the rescue and the brief history lesson.
It was my pleasure. I'll be here for a while yet, so if you have any more questions...
This chapel has me stumped. I need some additional hints. Maybe I should try to find the curator's grave first. I'm just going to take a look around.
You do that.
You do that.
One of the most famous landmarks in the world. A reminder that some lucky people actually visit places just for fun. No, really. They call this model the Duck. Quack. There isn't much left of the old chapel. A compost heap.
Ooh, let's go digging in the trash.
All right. Here I go again, rummaging through dirt.
Candle.
I will go look for the grave of Michel the curator.
That's
then.
Michael.
It isn't much of a lead, but since he seems to have been rather close to Cardinal Coubertin, maybe there's some hope of finding something out that way. The path splits in 3 directions here.
Oh no.
Graves from the 1650s, graves from the 1660s, and graves from the 1670s.
1970s?
Let's try this way. The graves here appear to be sorted by wealth. Poor on one side, rich on the other. Where do I go? Let's see what I find down this path.
This is an interesting way to do a maze puzzle.
They certainly have this thoroughly organized. They separated people who died young from those who passed away at a ripe old age. Let's go this way now. Yet another sorting criterion.
No goody.
But this appears to be the last. This time they distinguished between women, men, and families. Bureaucracy is obviously not a very recent invention. Now where does this path lead?
Went a complete circle. We're right back where we started.
Is this the right area? The Cardinal's curator would hardly have been a woman, or maybe... who knows? Michelle, the curator was actually a woman. No wonder she hardly ever went out in public, and was always so heavily covered up. If that had become known, I assume that when she was buried, this scandalous fact was discovered and hushed up. This is probably why her grave has been forgotten. I hope I can find a clue here and finally make some progress.
I know what that means. Remember down here? Oh, we never did look at this.
This altar was made from a single massive slab of stone. That's why it remained more or less unscathed throughout the centuries.
Stone lasts forever. Okay, we need to tilt the S. Is this right? Is that right? Exit. Good idea. To cemetery.
The grave of Cardinal Coubertin's
Okay,
curator,
so
and possibly his lover. There must be some kind of clue here.
Yes.
If only I knew what kind.
did they reset? No. Okay. There we go. F goes this way.
Did it!
Ah!
I am truly a genius.
I'm a genius.
But as usual, there is nobody around who could really appreciate that.
Onward.
There appears to be another room built into the rock by the far side of the abyss. Thanks to my famously positive attitude, I live in hopes that it is the archive we are looking for. Seems to be an old map of what is France these days. There's a legend on the panel next to it. The king was in dire straits. He had withdrawn to Provence, and the options he had left did not bode well. The peasants were rising to the north, and the reinforcements from the Kingdom of Navarre, who had just crossed the border, were forced to go up against a massive fortress to the east. Meanwhile, his opponent sat back and eagerly watched the spectacle unfold from his country estate in Brittany. It fits. It almost looks like the stone came from this mosaic in the first place. I wonder whether there are any stones that fit in the remaining empty fields. I cannot get over there. But looking at all these safety precautions, I think I have good reason to hope that the archive is behind that wall.
Talk to the homeless guy.
Hello. There's something else I think you might be able to help me with.
No problem. What is it?
I found a mosaic in there, but a few of the stones are missing. I found a light blue stone up here in the altar chamber that matches the mosaic perfectly. I suspect there might be more stones like it. Maybe the same strange shade of blue. Do you have any idea where I might find stones like this?
No, not really.
Well, I guess that would have been too easy.
Stop. Wait. I just thought of something. Many buildings around here were destroyed during World War II air raids.
Yes?
All stones from the derelict buildings that were still halfway usable were used for rebuilding, including those from this church.
Rebuilding what?
Well, first, there is a little bridge not far from here. Then, the old metro station. And the jail, I think.
Great. In that case,
Oh, yes, and the zoo.
that's a lot of buildings. Any idea where I should look first?
They were all built pretty much at the same time. But at least you needn't try the zoo right now, because it is still closed.
Okay, I'll save it for later then. Can you tell me how to get to these places?
I've got this tourist info map that I can give you. Wait, let me mark the relevant sites for you.
I'll go hunting for the missing blue stones then. I think I'll start with the bridge. It's supposed to be close to here.
Okay.
What an interesting phenomenon.
So we're on a scavenger
local
hunt.
rain shower that stops right in the middle of the bridge. The idle street cleaner may be slightly less impressive, but at least he's in harmony with the overall picture. Unfortunately, there's not a stone in sight that could fit into the mosaic. Maybe it's on the other, dirty side of the bridge.
Garbage heap.
A heap of dirt, garbage, and rotting leaves. The street cleaner may not move terribly fast, but he sure does a thorough job.
Dig
I
through the
gave up
garbage.
complaining about having to rummage through garbage a long time ago. Money. Mine for the picking.
Pacifier.
Unless I intend to go for the wet look, I should make sure I'm not standing close to this puddle when there's a car coming. I don't know why, but I'm suddenly starting to wonder, do street cleaners count as civil servants? Hello?
Hi.
You're a street cleaner, right?
No, I am a molecular biologist collecting samples for scientific research.
Oh, I really thought you were... What kind of research?
Of course I am a street cleaner.
Oh, a comedian. I never knew street cleaners were so witty. Not that I've met all that many. The only time I've ever seen the streets swept completely clean was during a World Cup final.
Touché.
Surely while sweeping you would have noticed if a blue stone had been built into this bridge, right?
Yes, indeed. If I had actually cleaned this bridge before.
Haven't you?
No, I'm just helping out. And there is no blue stone on this side of the bridge. I'm sure I would have noticed it after sweeping here for 4 hours.
Yes, you certainly would. Why are you still sweeping this side of the bridge? It's spotless, but the other side is completely filthy.
Have you looked over to the other side?
Yes? Why?
It is raining.
Such things are known to happen.
Indeed. So, I am waiting for it to stop.
You mean you're not sweeping the other side of the bridge because it's raining?
No, that would be silly.
I thought so.
I am not sweeping there because I would get wet.
Oh, and you think that's less silly?
Would you jump into a cesspit?
No, but...
You see, so why should I volunteer to get soaked? Especially when there are alternatives.
Which are...
I can continue to sweep here,
But it's clean here.
but not surgically clean.
What will you do if it starts to rain on this side, too?
Then I will be out of luck and get wet.
And then what?
Then I will sweep the other side of the bridge. After all, I will already be wet in that case.
And they tell me female logic is hard to understand. Why are you so scared of water?
I'm not. I'm just not keen on getting wet. Not as long as I can avoid it.
So it's not some childhood trauma.
Not that I know of. It's a professional hazard.
Getting wet?
Rain. You know, swing your broom, clouds will loom.
To think that I keep getting accused of having a penchant for puns and bad poetry.
I don't get paid enough for this logic. Station
The
clock.
clock has stopped. A racy Italian sports car. It's got a pretty horse on its hood. And a not-so-pretty scratch.
Uh-oh. Steal it.
The car is secured by an alarm. I'm sure it will go off at the slightest touch. And since I'm the only one...